Welcome to a new location for me. This is Ravensroost Woods. It's a Wiltshire Wildlife Trust land managed area, ancient woodland, part of the ancient Braden Forest, and I've never been here before. So let's go and explore. Quick look at the map and a little chat with some other regular visitors that have arrived. We're now heading into the Ravens Retreat, and apparently there's a walk that goes along the edge of the woodland along here, so it's still quite open. Might see some wildlife, so I have the long lens with me. And then we can come back through the woodland and see if I can get any nice woodland shots. I can't help but wonder if there's a shot to be had here with these lovely young silvery coloured trees, and they're all laid out nicely in lines. There's got to be an angle there somewhere. And actually just over the other side, let me spin you round, there's another field with slightly more mature ones in a similar manner. So I'm just going to explore here for a little while and see if I can find anything. So I'm looking at this view. It's a little chaotic. There's nothing resembling any kind of foreground interest, perhaps some wild flowers or something. It does seem a little chaotic, but I love the sidelight on these silvery coloured trunks. Just grabbed a quick shot of that anyway. If it turns out any good, here it is. There's a locked gate on that path which prevented me from going any further, so I've come into the woodland proper, and I spotted a nice little patch of late bluebells right next to an old fallen log behind me there. Let me show you it. So there we have the bluebells basking in a nice little bit of sunlight. It is very late in the bluebell season and it looks like they're definitely on the turn down with this lovely fallen tree beyond. And I'm wondering if there's some kind of shot to be had here. Now it looks like the best view of the fallen log is round this side where you see the branches. But then it's backlit and it's quite harsh light at the moment. Make a nice contrasty shot. Let me see if I can work my way around to the other side of these bluebells without trampling all over them. There might be something we can do with this. I'll get the camera out and we'll have a little go. There's a big jumble of fallen trees. You can see it's split from there and fallen down, and it's landed on either another one that's already split or it split it when it landed. Wow. It's forming this lovely natural bridge almost. Got to be worth a snap, hasn't it? And it was interesting getting under it as well to come through. With the tripod sticking out the top of the bag, and the bag as well, I actually had to get down on my hands and knees to get under that. And we've got this lovely little winding footpath going through the edge of the woodland here. So I'm just going to stop and have a little drink. And I'm wondering whether there's loads of Wiltshire Wildlife Trust locations. And a bit like my last year's project of going to Langford Lakes every month, I'm wondering whether this year I can visit as many Wiltshire Wildlife Trust locations as I can and document each of those. Because the ones I've been to so far are all different enough from each other to be worthwhile going to visit. I've already, obviously I've been to Langford Lakes. There's another one up near the Cotswold Water Park, and I know I visited there, and you may remember the scarlet duck that I shot there. I've been to one very close to home, and this is the fourth one now that I've been to visit. But there are many more. So watch this space. There might be a new playlist coming out of this with Wiltshire Wildlife Trust locations. Now, as I say, this is my first visit here, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. It's a very nice woodland, so I'm glad that I've brought my 24-105, which usually stays on the camera all the time anyway, and gives me a nice range of focal lengths. But I've also got the wide angle, the 14-30 with me, and it is a wildlife trust location. So I also brought the 100-500 just in case. But I haven't so far seen any signs of wildlife to shoot. As you can probably tell, there is plenty of birdsong around me. I haven't spotted a single bird yet. You can hear them, but they're up in the canopy somewhere. Not easy to spot. At least, not by me. There's plenty of little insects flying around though, and keep bothering you. So there's a cleared area here. They've cut off most of the trees right down to the stumps, but they've left this gorgeous pine here. And at the moment, it's just blocking the sun. So I think I might get a nice silhouette of this tree. Again, if it's any good, here's the shot. So we're just coming up to one of the highlights of this place. It's an old woodsman's hut, a hunter's hut, something like that. And the way it's been built, lovely textures in the walls with the wood that it's built of, coming from all sorts of different angles. Let's go and see if we can get a shot of that. Looks like there's some kind of beehive or insect nest in there. Well, a shooting hut might come in handy if I come back here and it's raining. So just trying to work out what angle to shoot this from, and I quite like it from this angle, but in this harsh light, that shaded side towards us might make it a little difficult. I might as well have a go. Let's see what it's like with the 24mm. It's not too bad from that side. I took 3 shots, should be able to HDR them together, hopefully. But I am going to come around this other side and shoot the sunlit angle. Well, again, some of it's still in the shade enough to make it difficult to get it right. So again, I've had to HDR. This time a 100th, a 160th and a 250th of a second. So much brighter around this side. So we're going to head on back to the van now, straight down this main pathway, and we'll stop and catch things if there's anything on the way. If there is, I'll see you there. If there isn't, I'll see you back at Vinnie. Well, I just had a couple of little sightings there. Nothing to write home about really. There was a greenfinch. It was lovely, and by the time I'd got the camera out, I hadn't even changed lens and it had flown away. And then I spotted this late blooming, very lonely little bluebell. Went to get a shot of that and spotted this little black and red bug. No idea what it was, but I shot it anyway. And I'll look up and see if I can figure out what it is when I get home. In the meantime, it's not a very steep hill, but it's relentless. Just keeps going. So I'll be glad when I get back to the van. Well, we made it back to the van. Oh, and I have to say, that is actually a really nice woodland. This is one that I will almost certainly come back to. This probably needs at least a full day here. I didn't explore all of the woodland, and it probably needs coming back to in the different seasons. I was chatting to a couple that visit regularly, and they were saying that it's great in June for the butterflies, and it's great in autumn for the fungus, and spring, of course, for wildflowers, fledgling birds. This is one, I think I might even need to bring the hide and hide somewhere and set up with a long lens to try and catch some of the birds. Things like that greenfinch that was actually very close to the path, but flew away before I got the camera out. In the meantime, it's time to put my stuff away, head home, see if any of those shots are actually worth processing. And if you have any thoughts on whether I should look at visiting every one of the Wiltshire Wildlife Trust sites and document those, do let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear whether you think that's worthwhile pursuing. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this, my first trip to Ravensroost Woods. And I'll see you on my next adventure.